like the ones who go to the Freedom March or Fest or whatever they call it and turn their backs on civilized society.
Well, Gladys, I think it's a big step from grooving to the music to suffocating the life out of someone. Thank you for your call, Gladys. The rest of you out there, call in and give us your perspective on these killings, all the way to the top of the hour. When we'll hear from an expert who will give us the facts and what it all adds up to. I am Nick St. John's, and you're listening to Freedom Radio.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I just fell.
Wait, did I hit you?
I just fell.
Oh, hey, no, don't try to get up, not if you're hurt.
But I'm not hurt.
Didn't your mother ever teach you to look both ways before crossing the street? Where are you going? At least let me give you a ride.
I don't need a ride.
Come on, you gotta let me do something for you.
I appreciate it, but no thanks.
Just to the next town. Come on, it's the least I can do. So, where you headed, buddy?
Not really sure.
Yeah. I'm headed home. That's in White Plains, downstate. Yes, sir. I sure will be glad to get home for the holiday weekend. Hey, Bob Rozycki's the name. Selling ties is the game. Rozycki's Fine Neckwear. We're tied to your success. On account of I sell neckties to business people. Get it? Eh?
Yeah, I get it.
What's your name, buddy?
Ben?
Ben? What, just Ben? What are you, like Madonna? You only need one name?
Ben James.
Oh, James. James. Jesse James, huh? Most famous outlaw of the Wild West. I'll be damned. You're not gonna shoot me, are you? Huh?
How far to the next town?
Oh, far enough for us to get to know each other a little better.
May I have some water?
It's your world, Ben. I just live in it. You, want some beef jerky? That's all I got, I'm afraid. We'll have to wait until we get out of the sticks for a nice juicy steak.
No
huh?
thanks.
Oh, you're not hungry?
I'm vegetarian.
Oh, well, to each his own, I always say. So, I know you don't know where you're headed, but do you know where you're coming from?
Stratford Freedom Fest.
Suburb of Buffalo, Stratford?
Yep.
I'll be damned. Oh, you're not one of those degenerate hippies I keep hearing about on the radio, are you? Oh, I'm only teasing. I'm coming from Stratford myself. But I imagine it took you a little longer to get this far, though. So what do you do for a living, Big Ben?
I'm in between gigs right now.
Wow. Taking some time off, clear the old noggin, so to speak?
Something like that.
Well, when you're ready to rejoin the workforce, give me a holler. I got all kinds of ties to make you look presentable. I got Ralph Lauren, Bergdorf, Chinese silk.
I doubt I'll ever need a tie for work.
Well, you know, with corporate culture getting more casual every year, I suppose that is true.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, you mean you won't need a tie for your job, is that it?
Yeah.
Why do you say that, Ben?
Just not headed that way, that's all.
But did you ever?
Did I ever what?
Did you ever have a job where you needed to wear a tie?
No.
What kind of work do you do then?
None of your goddamn business.
Oh, hey, all right. Oh, look, just trying to make a little polite conversation, that's all. Don't get your panties in a bunch.
I'm sorry. That was
No,
out of
it's
line.
all right. It's all right.
I just haven't been around people for a while. I'm not used to questions.
Conversation.
You're kind enough to give me a ride and all, and
Oh, hey, don't sweat it, Ben. I have been known to ruffle a few feathers from time to time. It's just the way I'm built, you know. I meet somebody new, I have to know everything about them. I suppose that's what makes me the best at what I do. Like just the other day, I met
can we
this
please
fella.
just listen to the radio?
Well, I gotta tell you, Ben, the reception out here, it's pretty terrible.
You said you were listening to it earlier.
Well, trying to is more like it. Hey, did you ever notice that when a really good song comes on or something interesting that you really want to hear, the reception is almost always bad? Like the other day, LA Woman, one of my all-time favorites. You know, it's like... But hey, let them play anything by Phil Collins. You know, studio. It's like clear as a fucking bell. Go ahead if you don't believe me.
And people think change should be easy, so they take a pill instead of working on their character. Because that's too hard. But before they know it, the side effects of all these pills make them psychotic.
Oh, we've heard that one before, Tim. Guns don't kill people. Antidepressants do. I'm not sure I buy it, though.
Me either.
Thanks for your call, Tim.
After 2 failed marriages and kids in between, I didn't know where to turn.
Well, you don't think pills have side effects, man?
I don't think they make people crazy. Someone like that's fucked up to begin with.
You don't even know who they're talking about, do you?
I don't care. Whoever it is, they're looking for him in the wrong place. There are roadblocks everywhere in Stratford when I left a week ago. Fucking cops.
Household. So it worked for me. That's perfectpair.com because 1 is the loneliest number.
Trish from Herkimer. You're on the air.
I disagree with the last caller. Someone who kills innocent people doesn't need pills to make them psychotic. They are already messed up.
Well, I guess you're not alone, Ben.
Doesn't take a genius to realize that people are what they are.
You really believe that?
Yes, don't you?
No. If I did, I wouldn't be in the business I'm in.
What do you mean?
By all accounts, I should be out of business. I mean, with the corporate culture getting laxer every year, like we just talked about, casual Fridays, and you got senior executives dressed like they're going to the beach instead of to the office. So, time to get out of the biz, right? Wrong. I changed my approach. That's what I did. Like here, let me show you an example. Look, take a look at my tie. See, it's red, white, and blue. On account of, it's 4th of July weekend. See? Because a tie doesn't have to just be boring and conservative. It can say something a little bit about your personality, or it can make a statement, you know? And so that's why I've been able to stay in this business for all these years, because I'm able to adapt.
But I'm talking about real change.
So am I.
I'm talking about personality, and you're talking about wearing a tie with the American flag on it.
Well, you are what you wear, Big Ben. All right, look, let me give you a little example to illustrate what I'm talking about. One day, my boss says to me, I want you to take one of the younger sales guys out on a call, teach him the ropes, right? Guy named Eddie. I say, sure, Eddie, he'll probably be a great tie salesman one day. Right now, he's a little rough around the edges. So we go onto this great account, and I mean, these guys are not the kind that say, you know, give me a dozen ties now, and the big order is right around the corner. No. These guys are ready to go for 1,000 pieces right away. So, you know, this kid, Eddie, he is ready. Not a hair out of place. He smells like an alpine breeze in Nebraska. He laughs in all the right jokes, you know, he says all the right things, and he lays it out on the line. He makes his sales pitch, leans back, crosses his legs. We're not buying, says the big kahuna. Next time you talk about craftsmanship and attention to detail, make sure that you're wearing matching socks. Eddie and I look down. One black, one white, and the whole sale's gone. Just like that, Ben.
Well, that's a great story, Bob, but it doesn't apply to me.
Oh, it doesn't, does it?
My job was not about appearances.
Every job's about appearances, Ben.
Milling trees isn't.
Milling trees? What do you mean, like in a sawmill?
6 years. Then one day, a man wearing a tie comes in, tells me he can buy his floorboards cheaper in China, and I lose my job. Just like that, Bob.
Well, what can I tell you, Ben? That's life. You know, you gotta just keep reinventing yourself.
No, that's your life. I want no part of it.
Hey, don't knock it till you tried it, Ben.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Now, this may feel a little awkward. It's the only way I know how to tie a tie on somebody else. You know the history of the tie, Ben? In the 1600s, shirts didn't have any buttons. So the tie was invented to hold it all together. But more important than holding your shirt together, tie signified power. If you were an English businessman wearing a tie made of Indian silk, that let people know you were a man of the world, a man of stature, far-reaching, with deep pockets. The perfect half Windsor.
Actually, this is the full Windsor, Bob. The half doesn't have the corners.
Right. You know your ties, Ben.
I went to Catholic school.
How does it feel?
Tight?
Well, you get used to that. It gets to be that when you're not wearing it, you feel naked. Look, I know you said you don't really want a shirt, but I got plenty in the back.
No, I like mine.
Well, I know you do, but I mean, this thing looks like you've been sleeping in the woods.
I was trying to stay off the roads.
Well, don't worry about that. With this tie, no cop will look at you twice.
I don't care about that. I just needed a break from people.
Don't we all, from time to time? Is this blood, Ben?
Yes.
What, you been wrestling with bears?
It was a rabbit.
I thought you were a vegetarian.
I am, Bob. But I had to eat.
Don't we all, from time to time? Well, you won't let me do anything about the shirt. At least let me do something about that haystack.
I have one in my bag.
Well, who said there's no hope for you, Big Ben? Do yourself a favor, Ben. Take a look. You're looking at the secret.
The secret?
What you see, you can be.
Look a little different, but I feel the same.
I don't believe that's entirely true, Big Ben. Admit it, you're feeling hopeful. You see a way out.
A Way out?
A way out of the woods. There's no need to hide from life anymore, Ben. It's out there, waiting for you.
I feel a little different, but I know I'm only fooling myself.
Fooling yourself? You're showing yourself. That's what you're doing, Ben. Don't try to understand it, Ben. Just feel it. Now you're getting it, Ben. Motion creates emotion. You can be anything you want. Anyone. You choose it. You become it. That's how it works.
That last track was from Fixer's latest album, Killer on the Road. And how appropriate is it right about now, with all the crazy killings going on all over the Empire State, latest in Buffalo? I'd like to call it a bad case of cabin fever, but folks, it's 4th of July weekend. High in the high 90s, low in the low 80s, with a few scattered clouds in the sky. It's 15 minutes before the hour, and as I promised, at 5 o'clock on the dot, I'll be talking to FBI profiler
maybe you're right.
Rundles. We've heard your theories, from social
maybe I do
degeneration
need a
to
new shirt.
pill-popping outcasts with an axe to grind, to a general absence of conscience.
I don't know, Ben.
Now it's time for the
getting kinda late.
professional lawman to
No,
weigh in. I'm Nick
I
St.
think I'd like to
John,
see what you have.
and you're listening to Freedom Radio. You can take away our federal highway funds, you can outsource our jobs, but you cannot take away our radio station. Freedom Radio, the last independent voice in the valley.
In these trying times, we must gather together to help one another and
Now
the
for you,
environment.
I would recommend
I like mine.
we're going into a valley. It'll be like this for the next few minutes.
Don't you want to hear the story on the radio?
Well, I'm sure it's a great story, Ben, but it doesn't apply to you or me.
Did they say anything about it before you picked me up?
You know, not much. You don't seem to know much. No big surprise there.
Do they know how he kills his victims?
Do we have to have this morbid conversation? I mean, look, it's a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining. There's not a cloud in the sky. And there's about a million other things we could be talking about, not the least of which...
Did they?
Stabbing, I think. Does it really make a difference?
Do they have any idea why?
Your guess is as good as theirs, you know? If you want, you can wait for the expert to tell you what to think. Or, you know, we could listen to a CD till we get to town. And, you know, grab a veggie burger and a couple of cold ones. What do you say? I mean, you do drink beer, don't you?
How far to the next town?
Well, it's about 10 miles should do it. And that's about 10 minutes on the highway. But, of course, on these back roads, it'll take a little longer. That's the wife for you. She's always moving things. You know, the other day I was looking for my fishing rod. I looked behind the door because that's where it is, only it's not there. She's already moved it. You know, a couple weeks ago, I come home from a sales trip and I go to sit on the sofa and I fall on my ass. Why? Because she's moved the sofa and it's on the other side of the living room. I'm telling you, Ben, the only constant is change. That's what I always say.
I think the CD player's broken, Bob.
I'll be damned. Even the Japs don't make them like they used to.
Your wife drive this car, Bob?
Oh, hell no. This is my work van. She does clean it, though.
She must like to work to music.
Oh, my God. How did that get in there? I thought I threw that one out.
Must be hard, being away from your wife. You being on the road so much and all.
Yeah, it is. I do miss home, but, you know, hey, I gotta make a living.
And now you're on your way home. To Yonkers.
White Plains.
Guess you don't mind taking the long way.
The long way? Not sure I follow you there, Ben.
Well, the highway would be quicker. I figure you're losing hours taking the back roads.
Well, I enjoy the scenery. And besides, if I'd gone to the highway, I never would have had the opportunity of conversing with someone like yourself.
Asking questions is more like it.
Well, right now, you're the one asking the questions, Ben.
You know what always bothered me about working at the sawmill? Whenever an asshole wearing a tie would show up, we'd always have to answer their stupid questions. Questions never made any difference. We knew what we were doing. All it did was waste time. But we were just the workers. They asked the questions, and we had to answer.
Didn't that just make you want to be the guy asking the questions?
No. I never wanted to be like them. I hated them.
So what are you gonna do, Ben? Live out in the woods like some sort of prehistoric individual for the rest of your life?
Don't knock it till you tried it, Bob.
Himself. Paul serves all from restoration to rebuild. Mining, jacuzzi installation, above ground wall maintenance, and it's by Paul. Give a call to Paul.
And we're back. I'm here with Mark Grundles, an FBI profiler for 25 years. Mr. Grundles, welcome to Freedom Radio. Let's start with the facts. Development. A third victim has been found this morning and has just been identified as a Buffalo City police officer. It confirms what the lead detectives assigned to the case already suspected, that the three murders are the work of one person, and that if he or she isn't stopped, a fourth murder is almost a certainty. So I ask you, Mr. Grundles, what do you make of this killer traveling our peaceful highways and byways?
Come across many different cases.
I think that bears repeating.
Chameleon. One thing is now certain. Impersonates the people he kills, consistently leaving us one step behind. Just when we have a lock on him, he's already somebody else. The first victim was found without clothes, and so was the second. We thought this was some sort of ritualized behavior, until we got reports of the victim having interactions with other people, hours, sometimes days, after they were found dead. In the case of the last victim, Buffalo police officer.
So you're saying the killer drove away in the squad car and was impersonating the officer?
Yes, we can safely. Ran a license plate. Most likely because he was going to switch vehicles.
What kind of car?
It wasn't a car, it was a van. License plate DUI.
Pull over.
Well, you don't think that I have anything to do with
No,
all
I
this?
want to get out.
Well, you want to check my plates? Is that it? Come on, Ben. You know how many vans there must be out on the road? There's probably thousands, if not more.
Look, I really appreciate everything you've done. But if you could just pull the car over now. Please.
Hey, no. The tie's a gift, Ben. I want you to keep the...
I don't want it. I'm fine the way I am.
All I wanted was to give you a ride to the next town.
Just stop the car.
You gonna do? Go back to the woods like the coward that you are?
That's my business.
Jesus.
Now pull the car over.
All right, look, there's no shoulder here.
Stop the
It's
car
not safe.
now.
Let me get to a place where there's a safe place to pull over, and I swear to God, when you see the license plate, you're gonna laugh, Ben. You're not gonna believe the look on your stupid face.
Couldn't let it go. Could you, Ben? Huh?
Better of people, of myself.
Where you headed, brother?
Not really sure. Brother?